ladies and gentlemen, Amir Arison.
Oy vey. That's not very Sephardic, though, is it? No. Oh, my goodness. Real quick, really, the awards all belong to Stacey Donovan. I'm just one of thousands of an army of art students that she has educated. Right now, she's at the Watkinson School in Connecticut, where she teaches Acting One, Film Forum, on and on. She just did a Durang play. I can go on and on with her. And she has come to every single play of mine since high school to this day. She is a great barometer of my theatrical life and my personal life. This evening's getting long, isn't it? It's gonna get longer. Give me a second. How am I here? This is a bit strange when my amazing manager, Lillian LaSalle from Suite 180, who is right over there, a beautiful Iraqi Sephardic Jew, called me and said, the Sephardic Jewish Film Festival wants to give you this Pomegranate Acting Achievement Award. And I was like, what? Are they sure they got the right guy? And I was like, I think we have to tell them that I'm Ashkenazi.
What?
It's okay, Spirit Airlines. You're covering me. So she calls them and calls David, and says, you know he's Ashkenazi. Are you sure you want to present him with this award? Of course, we love him. It is okay. If he's worried about not being Sephardic, I will give him some of my blood. How much does he want to be? We can negotiate. How much? So I said, okay. There are a few people I really feel like I have to acknowledge to be here. Real quick, also, an acting career is impossible without an excellent management, and I just really need to acknowledge Lillian. I've been with her for 15 years. She got me the audition for The Kite Runner. I was like, I can't do theater. She's like, I think you should audition for this. And so, anyway, that's just right now, 15 years of that. I was 8 years old, and I was doing a play. Actually, I think it was about a dreidel coming to life. And I had 2 lines. And I was like, fine, did the play. And after the play, my mom came up to me, and she looks at me and she goes, you have talent. I wasn't very good at sports, so I joined the drama club and proceeded to go from there. I have to say something, so really I owe this to her. I wouldn't even gotten into any of this if she hadn't recognized all the parents and teachers out there who support sort of irrational dreams. My dad, when we would walk around, so I would walk around, and people would be like, do you want to be a doctor like your parents? They have like real jobs. They like save people's lives. And do you want to be a doctor like your parents? And my mom would say, no, he's going to be an actor because that is his passion. I was like, I think I am. I don't know. So my father gets wind of this. Your mother, she's a bit of a hippie. You know, you're a smart kid. There's computers. You could do lots of things. So now, when I get a part, there is no better person to call than my dad, who couldn't be here because he's saving a life doing surgery right now in South Florida. And he is the most excited. And when I don't get a part, my dad's like, this is your chosen profession? Work hard, show up on time, and be a good boy. To this day, I'm 44, he still says that. I would be remiss not to mention my sister who's here today. I had 3 people looking out for me. My beautiful sister, Maya. Real quick, 9 years ago, I was in LA and I was staying on my sister's couch in New York, and I got this audition for this show called The Blacklist. And she also has a real job and works in finance and like has normal hours. And she comes home and I was like, Maya, you gotta read this audition with me. I gotta go in tomorrow for this part. She's like, okay. And she's like tired and we're on the couch. And I'm like, hear this. And she's falling asleep while reading the material. And I'm like, Maya, you know, she's like, okay, where are they? Falling asleep. I was like, this is your next line. And she's like, you're welcome. Okay. Anyway, that worked out. 9 years later, I'm still doing that job. So thank you, Maya. Last night, I have a bunch of scenes tomorrow to do on the show, and I was like, we knew we were spending the day here, and I was like, Maya, you gotta run lines with me. She flew up for this, so I'm making her still run lines with me. She ran them with me last night, so I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Now, okay, I know, I was gonna say a few things, and it seems like they've been said already by all these very special people that have come up here. There's so many to thank. But I do want to say something about my history and being Ashkenazi and being on this beautiful, honorable stage. My grandparents from my mother's side are Holocaust survivors. From my father, his great-great-grandfather was from Romania and was one of the first to make Aliyah in the 1800s to avoid the Russian draft. And then they had to change their name because of who they were. My mother's mother, Bronya Kitman, may she rest in peace, was a Holocaust survivor from the Warsaw Ghetto in Poland. My mother's father, Misha Kitman, was a survivor from a small shtetl in the south of Poland, Rovna. He lost his whole family, his siblings. He lost children, he lost his whole family. And they found themselves in a refugee camp in Italy where they made my mom, lucky for me, and she was born in a refugee camp in Italy, and when she was 1, they made their way over to Israel. Why do I bring this up? Because a lot has been said about the Holocaust and has been taught. This has been repeated here, and of course we know that often, this audience knows that the forgotten refugees are often the Sephardic community all over the Middle East. But what unites us, besides so many good brains and good hearts and stuff, is that it is one people of survivors for millennia. Survivors, survivors, survivors. And I am honored to be part of a tribe that has survived. And I know I am up here because I stand on the shoulders of my great, 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 great grandparents. And I have freedom, and I get to pursue a life in the arts, and that is not lost on me. At this moment in time, we all know there's a raging war in the Ukraine, there's violence all over the world, and it is the biggest refugee crisis since World War II. It's 4 million and counting. And my grandfather's shtetl was in the south of Poland, but in 1939 it was annexed by Soviet Republic Ukraine and taken and is now in what is modern-day Ukraine. My grandfather is a refugee from Polish Ukraine. Although I didn't get to meet them, they're very well represented by my brilliant mother, Dr. Sephora Arison, who's over there. Now, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I just want to say one thing about surviving. When I say survival, I don't mean life. I mean family values, education, love, the concept of tzedakah, who those don't know what that means, charity, culture. I can't think of a greater place than a film festival, the Sephardic Jewish Film Festival, celebrating the nuances of Sephardim and Sephardic culture on film, which is celluloid, which lasts forever. And also, probably one of the most important things to my heart is the concept of tikkun olam. For those who don't know, that means heal the world or repair the world. I think probably the most basic aspect of acting, maybe the most fundamental principle of acting, starts with empathy. That's how the evening started. Sarah mentioned that. You took my line. And it starts with empathy. And I really, in my soul of souls, I do not care if you are Ashkenazi or Sephardic, if you are Muslim or Jewish or Christian or Buddhist or Israeli or Arabic or Palestinian or Russian or Ukrainian or North Korean or South Korean or Taiwanese or Chinese or gay or straight or man or woman or non-binary, if you're a Republican, if you're a Democrat, if you're an independent, I don't care. It starts with empathy, 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 because we all just want to belong. We all have a story, and we all just want to belong. And I just want to thank the Sephardic Jewish Film Festival, the American Sephardic Festival, for making me feel like I belong. Thank you.
So, Amir, you will have Lauren Gibi, who is the president of the Young Leadership of the American Sephardic Federation, giving you the award. Mr. Oded Al-Ahmi will join you. Say